Hey everyone, it's Don again, and I was going to show you today how we would install a font for Silhouette Studio or really any program on your computer. If you need to use different fonts, you can either buy a font or you can come to dafont.com, DAFONT.com, and I will put a link to them down in the description. But you can come down here and get different fonts for free. They've got thousands of them. You can separate them by different styles and download them, and I'm going to show you how to install them onto your computer. Now, if you have, like me, I use several different computers, and I use Photoshop and Silhouette Studio and other different programs that use fonts. You will have to install them on each individual computer. So what I recommend doing is whenever you download a font, put it into like Google Drive or OneDrive, whatever it's called. That way you can pull it up on each one of those computers and install it individually, or you could move it on a thumb drive or whatever to each computer, however you want to do it. But today I figured we'd just take a look, and like I said, you can search these if you have one that you know the name to, or if you have something that let's just say you want to look for a font for, let's say, vampires. I don't know why that came to my mind, but vampires there, and you can bring up, and it's going to bring up anything with vampire in the name, just like any other search. So we'll go back to the main screen here, and let's just say we're looking for, let's just say something in handwritten. That tends to be some of my favorite stuff is the handwritten stuff, and I kind of like this one right here. So let's go ahead and download it. You always want to look at the license. Some of these are free for personal use, and then some of them are free overall, and you can also sort that as well. So let's see, only as 100% free. So let's click 100% free, and this way you could use it for anything. If it's for personal use only, you really shouldn't use it for items that you want to sell. That wouldn't be a personal use way to use that. So, these people spend a lot of time creating these fonts. So if you want to do that, get a hold of them. I'm sure there's a way on here. I don't know how to do that, but you can look them up by author. So you could get a hold of these people and find out what it would cost to license it if you wanted to use it for something that you sell on a website or whatever. So let's just go and we'll just look up here. I kind of like this one right here, No More Virus. I'm all about that. So let's go here. We're just going to click download. And we're going to want to scroll. I'm just going to put it on my desktop. But you can put it wherever you want. You can just search through here and find whatever you like. And we'll just create a new folder here on our desktop. And we'll call it fonts. And then we'll open that up. And what I like to do is I like to create two different folders inside of the font folder. And one would be for installed fonts. And then I'd like to create another folder for incoming fonts, or you can call them new fonts. And that's where we're going to put our download. So we'll just open up that folder and click save. And once it's ready, we'll be able to go check that out. So we can drop this down right here. We can go to the fonts folder that we just created. We'll just open that fonts folder up. And here's the two other folders that we created. It's going to be in our new our new fonts folder. Sorry about that. And now we have to unzip. I know in another video I recommended 7-zip. You don't have to use 7-zip, But 7-zip just makes everything so much easier. And what I like to do is we're just going to right click on the zip file and hover over 7-zip, and we're going to extract here. And that's going to extract our .ttf file, which is a TrueType font file. You can kind of see that over here, TrueType font. And once it's unzipped, you can right click it and then look right here. And this is for Windows users. I don't know about you Mac people. I've never used a Mac, and I probably never will. But for Windows users, you're just going to right click on the TTF file and then just click install or install for all users. So if you have several different users on your computer, you can do it either way. So I always install for all users. Just makes it simpler. And that way we've got it. So now if we go and open Silhouette Studio, I'll bring it up here. And let's say we want to use that No More Virus font. We can go in here and let's just type shop. And we'll hit Control A so that we select all of the letters. And we can come in here and find No More Virus. We'll scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. There we are. So No More Virus. And so that's how you would install a font on your computer. Okay, now what I want to show you is, let's say you are searching Google or Etsy or Pinterest, and you come across something like this welcome home sign. I'll kind of bring it up here bigger. And let's say you really like that font, and you're looking for something, similar or that exact font. The way you would go about searching for this is a different website. And what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this down here to my other screen. And then we will come up here. And we're going to go to myfonts.com/whatthefont. And you're able to drop an image in here, and it's going to pick out the fonts. And so I will grab that image and we'll drop it in there. And now see, it's picking out, it's got several ways you can either, you can look for this if you like this font, or you can look for that, or you can look for, home. We're going to look for the welcome. And then once you have the one that you want kind of picked out, you can adjust these as needed, but it won't let me since it knows that we're around that font. And then you'll just click this blue button. And what it's going to do is it's going to kick out what it thinks, is close to these fonts. And you can scroll down through here. Most of the time it gets close. Doesn't always get the same. Like here, it's for some reason it's picking up 2 W's. And it's probably due to this little feather thing here, whatever that is. And I'll show you how you can avoid that here in just a second. But you can put your own text in. So let's say you wanted to put farmhouse. You would just put it in like you would want it. And click change text. And then it would show you what that would look like. You could look over these and see if there was a font that you particularly liked. Now, these are not going to show you free fonts. I don't think I've ever found a free font in here. But let's click on one here. Let's just say, I don't know. I don't really like any of them, but let's just say this one right here. Let's go ahead and open it up in a new tab if it'll let us. It won't. So let's go ahead and click this, and this would allow you to find the script. And it's going to open it up in a new tab. It's going to show you where to get it, how much it is, and you can click this and find out where to get it from. So this is, if you want it for desktop, if you want it for web font, app, EPUB, server, these are different ways you can license it, and it tells you, the different ways. So let's say you had 10 people that were going to use it. It's going to charge you $18 to use that font. 1 to 5 users, it would charge you $12, I think it was. Yeah. So that's how you would go about finding and purchasing a specific font, if you liked one or not. Now, what I like to do is I like to go check. So this is called Audretta Regular, and I'll go check it and see if I can find it on our dafont.com. I don't find it that often, but every once in a while you'll hit one, and yeah, that one's not there. But you can go search it in Dafont, and sometimes you'll find, a free version of it, or maybe they've got several different versions and one of them's free. You might be able to take that one. You might like that font just the same. But this is called What the Font. Like I said earlier, it was picking up on this little feather. I don't know what this is called, but it was picking up on this and causing it to kind of show up with 2 W's. So I'm going to show you how to take care of that. And what I do is I'm going to open up that picture in Paint. And let me see here. Let me bring it up in front of my screen. I'm going to open that picture up in Paint, and I'm going to cut out just the word that I want. And then anything that has any highlights that's the same color, or close to the same color as my text, I'm going to just grab a color out of here and kind of paint over. That way it doesn't affect what the font is seeing. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this. We'll go back to the beginning here, and I'll just bring in that image. And I didn't check to see if it brought us up any different images, but that way it's not picking up on anything other than just our welcome text there. There we go. Okay. So I come up with Audretta Regular again, but this time it doesn't pick up the second W, the one in front of here. So that at least lets you know that it's only getting the text that you're wanting. But basically, just open it in Paint, use the eyedropper to pick out, one of the background colors, and then just paint over those areas. That way you don't have anything kind of showing up. Because if I go back, where's it at? Our font. If I go back and open up that wood sign, you can kind of see that you've got some highlights. Let's bring it in a little closer here. You've got some highlights here. All this wood right here, you got some highlights right here. What the font may pick that up as part of the font, and it's definitely picking this up because it is the same color. So we just want to go in to Paint, and we just peel off part of that. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that. Let's see here. So I'll just kind of show you what I'm doing is I'm going to open that picture up in Paint by right clicking on it and then open with and clicking on Paint, and then I'll just go down and kind of select my area that I want. So let's just grab, we just need this right here. Want to make sure the whole word is in there. And then we'll just go to crop. And then if you hit Control and scroll forward, you can kind of make it bigger. And it's a little easier to work with. So then I go and I grab this eyedropper tool up here at the top, and I'm just going to grab a color out of here. Changes our color 1 to that color. And then I'll just grab a brush. And I'll make my brush size, whatever size I want. And I'll just go through here and just kind of paint over, being real careful not to cover over any of the text. And I just want to get rid of, as much of that as I can. Get rid of this word that was down below it. And I spent a little bit more time, but you get the idea. And we'll just get rid of this little, whatever this thing is called. I still haven't figured out what this thing's called. But just paint over that. Get rid of anything that's the same color as your text for sure, because what the font will pick up on that and may try to offer you something based on that. And then I just like to make the background as bland as possible. And there's one more piece right there. Okay, so right there, and then I would just save this, and this is what I would drop into what the font to be able to see if it could get me this exact font or something very close to it. And like I said, what the font isn't perfect. A lot of times it'll pick up on little swirls like this on letters that aren't typically there, the O's, and it tries to pick up on how the letters connect. I've noticed kind of a pattern in what it's looking for, but it offers you up several different suggestions, and most of the time you can find one or two in that list that will work for you. So that's another way to find fonts, and you would just install them the same way we installed our free font. It's just when you purchase it, they're going to send you a zip file, or maybe they just send you the TTF file, and you would just right click it and install for all users, just like we did in the first part of the video. So, well guys, I appreciate you watching the video. I hope you learned something, and if you could, like, share, and subscribe. Click that like button, subscribe to my page. I'm going to try to keep doing more of these tutorials, and I'd appreciate you coming along with me. If you have any suggestions for future tutorials, just go ahead and put them down in the comments, and I'll see you later. Thank you.